I'm just
croissant,
scared.
you're just like pastry.
Yes.
Croissant.
I don't even say French stick. I'm just too afraid.
You just say stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you pass a stick?
It's a European stick.
European
is what I call it.
So has there ever been anything that you would have said that you've done?
I don't know if there's anything major I would have said at work, but
Yeah.
I would have said, I went and hung out with friends. Or
I didn't see my friends.
I didn't see anybody.
I haven't got any friends.
But why would you lie about that?
Well, what's more impressive? Like I'm social, guys, as opposed to I stayed at home, played video games in my underpants all
I
weekend.
was going
Yeah.
through my dad's drawers trying to find the controllers.
Yeah.
He confiscated them
Confiscated
again.
my controller.
I've been looking for 20 years.
Oh yeah, I went to work with my dad. Like nobody wants to hear that. Yeah, I just went out, went and had brunch somewhere. It was nice. That was it.
I get it though.
Right.
Sometimes it's easier to throw a couple of generic things out there.
Yeah, I think,
And then not much, just sort of stay in.
and sometimes I lied, so I don't need to talk about things.
Yeah, like if you watched, let's say if you watched some Netflix. Say
Yeah.
I watched some Netflix. I'm like, what did you watch? Do you want to admit that you watched Cheer, the TV series? You watched teenagers cheering for
Mutant Ninja Turtles,
6
yeah.
hours straight. Like, what do you like? I kind of understand the reasoning behind it,
Behind a white lie.
behind a white lie, but
Yeah.
something like a language, it's oh boy.
Yeah, that's fair. You're right. Because there have been times where I've played like video games for like 6 hours straight
Yeah.
and ate pizza, and that was my day.
That
It
was
like,
okay. You don't want to tell people
Like
about
if
it.
someone asked me the other night what I did, I wasn't going to say like, "Oh, Marcus was streaming Hitman, and I was watching him play Hitman." I was watching my
I thought
friend.
somebody else.
I was
watching
watching
my
my
friend
friend
play
play
a
video
video game.
games and commenting, being like, "Kill this guy with the banana."
because like for us,
Yeah.
it's a good time, but for somebody outside of it, they'd be like, well, that's the saddest thing I've ever
So you
heard.
played a video game. I was like, no, watch the friend.
Watch the friend
Oh,
play a
what,
video game.
was he with you? I was like, no, he was on the
Online.
screen.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's
Did you talk to him? No, I texted him.
Yeah, I was texting in the chat.
Yeah.
So like, there's things like that. But
Yeah.
Kathy here is a bit of a problem. What do you think Tom Cruise can do in the future to either navigate dealings with Kathy?
So you're right. Like lying about a language, that is something you can get caught out really easily
And
with.
you caught her out good.
Whereas like with my Italian thing, I could still like kind of understand stuff, and I had a basis for my understanding.
Yeah.
This person just like, I'm fluent in like in difficult European languages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they doubled down. They said 2 languages as well.
What about the other one? Like, nah. Sorry, bro. Can't do that one either.
I wouldn't harp on it,
Yeah.
but the fact that she called you a little bitch, I think
Yeah.
I would be making asides every now and then.
Yeah.
Right.
In French and stuff, just to see. I don't know. I just kind of feel like I'd want to.
I feel like
I'd
you
want to
could-
hang it over him
you
because
could-
I'm petty.
Yeah.
The fact that she called you a little bitch, like behind your back to another colleague, I think
So
that's.
what's the deal with Tom Cruise?
I
Yeah.
feel like that's a bit harsh. Like
100%.
That's a
They got called out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's not. Well, I
I'm
guess
a
she doesn't
little
want to
bitch.
admit. She doesn't want to admit that she's the liar, though.
Yeah,
that's why she
exactly.
doesn't want to admit it.
It kind of reminds me of like, what were you going to say?
Go onto her laptop and change the language to French.
Oh yes, that's very good.
Oh, man.
It's like, I speak it, I can't read it though.
See if she can never get her way out
Just
of
like
it.
where's
Or Dutch. what the fuck is this?
Just trying to find the fucking start menu. She's like, I don't know what start is in French.
What the hell does we mean? What the hell does we
Let
mean?
begin.
Let begin.
Let begin.
Oh, she just throws a computer out. I got a French.
Let's just start. Let begin.
Let begin.
All our French listeners, people that know a little bit of French, are going to be like, what the
How is
fuck?
Le Windows? I think I got one of those French Trojan viruses.
Those viruses, they just, you know.
I like that.
idea,
I
Marcus.
do
Yeah.
like that.
It's very good.
I'd probably do that because they called you a
Little
they
bitch.
called you a petite bitch,
Yeah.
which is not fun.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. But I mean, look, it sounds like they did the right thing as far as like the encounter has happened. Maybe just avoid Kathy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and you
probably
don't
a
owe her
safer-
an apology.
No.
Kind of reminds me
Exactly.
of those stolen valor videos that you see online.
Yeah.
Where like guys will have you seen those videos, Marcus? Where it's like it happens a lot in America where somebody will go to like a Walmart
Wearing
in
camo.
like wearing camo gear because soldiers get a discount.
Yeah.
And then a lot of time people who are actual soldiers will walk up to them with a camera and say,
Which
hey man, like where'd you serve? What was your platoon? Blah 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 blah. And then the person is unable to give any of that information.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it turns out they've just bought a costume from like
But
from
is it even that? Is it like, do they actually pretend to be
Yeah,
Sort
they've
of
been
veterans.
Because I think veterans get discounts.
They get discounts.
I've seen people just like happen to be wearing camo shorts and they're just like, you can't wear those. You didn't earn those. Like that camo pattern is
Yeah.
actually stolen valor too.
I
It's
think
not
that's a bit much because camo is just used in clothing.
Outfits,
True.
yeah.
But the videos I've seen, guys have been in like full, what they're called,
Decked out.
fatigues or whatever they're called. And
Right. He's in a ghillie suit. He just looks like a bush. Where did you serve?
They just like throw sand in his face and
right.
then like
Just drops
cuddles
down.
up into a ball.
The guy in the ghillie suit's like, how did you see me?
Yeah, right.
I was blending in.
I'm invisible.
But it's this very embarrassing thing of the guy being like not being able to relay any information because they're obviously a fake soldier and then getting called out.
That's
and
pretty
it's
fucked up, actually.
It's
yeah.
hard to watch.
Look, guys, you don't need to dress up as a soldier. Just go into Oz Bargains or something. And that's how you find your discounts.
It's true.
That's exactly right.
From the comfort of your home.
Yeah.
coupons. Marcus could get in trouble for it, and that's a bit of that green.
It's like navy. It's like army green. Yeah.
It's army green. Stolen valor.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we want to leave it there for Tom Cruise? Then?
I think so.
Do we
I think
say
so.
leave
I think so, yeah.
Leave Kathy alone.
Yes.
Stay out of her way.
Yeah. And just make petty comments every now and then.
Yeah.
Hack onto a laptop. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's
All right.
good.
Lay Windows.
This is
Le window.
this is going to come from Bruno Mars.
Oh yeah,
He is very short.
Yeah.
Have you seen? There's that photo of him with I think it's Taylor Swift is in the same photo.
And she's like towering
But
over
I
him.
think it's got to be photoshopped. Hang on, I'm going to pull it up.
It's like he's like up to her knees.
I'll keep talking while Tom gets Bruno Mars up.
There it is. Look how small he is. Is he definitely that short? He's in the foreground. She's in the background.
Yeah, should be wearing heels as well.
But he looks tiny there.
He looks tiny.
Anyway.
He's tiny, but he's full of talent,
And
Tom.
he'd jump on a grenade for you.
Yeah.
Right.
He wouldn't do much though.
You cop a bit of shrapnel still.
Couldn't cover it all.
All right, so Bruno Mars writes in, am I the asshole for saying my wife wasn't my dream girl in a trivia game? So my wife and I have been doing a game night every so often with some other couples via Zoom since we can't go out and see people. We were playing this card game the other night that was basically like a trivia game for couples to play, and you were asked a question and you write down your answer and your partner has to guess what they think you answered. So I think that's just what's that called, the married couple game?
Yeah, married couple game. Yeah,
yeah,
sounds
that's
about
right.
right. Yeah.
If they guess correctly, your team gets a point. Whichever couple knows each other the best wins. So some of the questions in this version were a little spicy. And one of the questions was, who is your dream man/woman to have sex with? I wrote down my spin instructor. Since
Whoa! Holy shit! You don't do that. You don't put down that spin instructor. Oh my god!
No, you don't put that. No.
I thought Bruno was good at love. Apparently,
Right.
Not now. No.
look, he does apologise in a lot of his songs, so maybe that's why. All right, so
Whoa, that was a bombshell.
I should have
That was a grenade right there.
I should have let you know I was about to drop a grenade.
Yeah.
But, so I put down my spin instructor since my wife knows I think she's hot and thought she'd guess her and we'd get a point.
It's
Oh,
tactical. Come on, honey.
Yeah.
You know this.
Well, fuck me. Turns out every other husband either wrote down their wife or a celebrity or / fictional character.
Exactly.
Yes.
You wrote Jessica Rabbit or something. Right? No one's gonna get upset about that.
My wife was livid and upset. I tried to explain I didn't actually want to do anything with my spin instructor and I would never even be unfaithful. It was just me trying to play the game. She doesn't believe me, saying everyone else's instinct was women who didn't exist, or better yet, their wives. I feel really bad, but also really confused. I don't know how to deal with this. Am I an asshole? Bruno Mars.
Yeah, you are.
Right, Bruno.
I don't like these married games because they can only end like either really badly.
Someone's gonna end up.
Someone's going to end
in a
up
fight.
in this situation. But even still with that question, always say your wife or even someone fictional.
Yes.
Because if you say your wife, you might not win a point,
Yeah.
but you win a point in her heart.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's just say that if there was someone that they knew that
Yeah.
you would constantly be like, oh, she's so hot. Like if it's a celebrity, let's just say,
Yeah.
right? If it's just say, I don't know. Who's
Just
a
go with
celebrity?
Taylor Swift. Just go with, she's already on topic.
Who was that?
I said Jessica Alba or just Taylor Swift.
Okay,
Yeah.
just say every time you see Taylor Swift, you're like, man, she's so hot. She's so hot.
Yeah.
If it's like a joke almost between you two, and then that sort of question came up, be like,
That's
oh
fine.
yeah, cool. I know him. He's gonna say Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, if there's that understanding between you that it's almost like a joke, you know that that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
What if the spin instructor was the joke? Like they always, every time they say, "Oh, she's hot. Oh, she's hot."
The problem
then-
with the spin instructor is
She's gettable.
I just thought she was
gettable.
Well, she might not be, but it seems attainable because
Yes.
he's seeing her every week.
Yeah.
Right.
They're getting hot and sweaty together.
and also it's you know, it's like it's sort of a bit of a cliche as
Yeah.
well, like the yoga instructor, the spin instructor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you may as well say the fucking maid or something. You know
It's,
what I mean?
it's the
Like,
equivalent of being like, hey, like you sitting down with your wife and being like, let's make a hall pass. You know,
Right.
the kind of thing of like, if I ran to this celebrity,
yeah.
we could sleep with them. Like
Yeah.
your freebie, whatever it is.
I ran into the spin instructor
Yeah,
today.
exactly.
Guess I have to sleep with her.
It's like your wife's like, oh, I do like Brad Pitt, George Clooney,
Yeah.
and Matt Damon. And then the husband's like, spin instructor,
Yeah.
your sister, and Sheila from next door.
Yeah, right.
And the barista down the street.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And maybe your mum.
Maybe
depending
your
on
mum.
if it's a good
Maybe your
day.
mum.
If I run into her-
I keep it in the family.
That's right.
Like, that's the thing. It's unfair to do it. Like, it's not that it's unfair, but it's almost like it's making your intentions seem a little bit more like you're realizing them.
Yeah, exactly. Like Damien said, it's an obtainable sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
it's a person that you speak to.
Yeah.
It's
It's-
putting doubt in her mind.
It's
You
going to
don't-
make it very awkward for you and your wife
Yeah.
when you're at spin class, right?
Yeah.
How do you rectify this? How do you, as this guy, turn it around? Like you might have meant it as a joke or as
I
a
like-
win of a point, but how do
I
you
like
rectify?
that he said it was almost like a tactical thing to be like, oh, we can get this point.
He
She
wanted to
knows.
win.
She knows, and I wonder who she guessed because aren't they supposed to guess as well?
Yeah.
So
It
the
did- it
wife
did
probably
say-
wrote like me,
Yeah.
with a love heart on the piece of paper, and he's looking and she's like, we're gonna turn this around and show everyone now. It's like, Kathy, the spin instructor. Like, how do I say that?
Do you think there would have been any way he could have pivoted? Like, surely when he saw
Right.
like we're going around in a circle, Marcus is like my wife, then you go my wife, and it's coming around to
He
him.
tries to change the letters. You know when you try to change. You can turn a D into an A on like a grade if you really wanted to, or a D into a B.
What the hell's a bin instructor? The garbage man. He's he's really sexy. Actually,
He's hot fire.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't sort of spin it. Especially you can't think on your feet that
And
quick.
she's sitting right next, because it's on Zoom. She's sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
Camera goes off. Mute.
Oh,
Whoa.
just the idea of everybody leaving the chat very slowly.
Yeah, right.
You're right. He wouldn't be able to pivot
He wouldn't
because
be able to
they're
pivot.
right
He
next to
wouldn't
each
be able to
other.
pivot. It's like, do you remember last year, Tom, when Bachelor went onto Zoom? Yeah,
Yeah.
And like there was moments where they had like group dates and all the women are there, and then when two women were fighting, getting real catty, you see all the other women just leave the conversation.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
And it's fucking, it's obvious as shit. Like everyone's like, nope, I
Yeah.
don't want to deal
I
with
don't want
this.
to deal with this
I
shit.
don't want to deal with this
Yeah,
shit.
it's actually even more awkward in Zoom.
Yeah.
Do you think the first step is he has to quit that spin class? Does he have to find
yeah.
another spin class?
It's almost like, I realize my errors, my ways. I'm getting help, and I've left the spin class, and now I'm joining a run club
You
instead.
gotta try.
Yeah.
You gotta try and figure out a way to please or keep her happy in this scenario.
Yeah.
And I think quitting the spin class or changing spin classes so you don't see that particular instructor.
Yeah.
Is a good start. Like, look, I understand she's not that good of a spin instructor. I'm gonna switch.
I
Yeah.
wonder how good he was.
No.
at
You do not mention she's not that good of a spin instructor because then she'll be like, well, then why did you hang around for the last 5 years?
She's got great ups. That's why. Obviously.
She's good to look at. She's
You
good to
don't
look
need to
at.
put more seeds of doubt
Yeah.
in that
Yeah, that's a good
regard.
point.
She's not even that good at riding the bike.
She doesn't even get on a bike during the class.
Yeah, right. Like that's the thing. He
maybe
needs
not.
to find a new spin on that answer. Like
Yeah.
and why he wrote it.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
Let's play again. Let's play again.
I'm gonna write this time. I'm gonna write this time.
I think it's an unwritten rule of when you're in a relationship. I think you, especially in public, you should be championing your partner
Right.
all
As
the
much
time.
as you can,
You should
yeah.
Be
never.
the biggest fan.
Exactly.
I think about like attraction, especially. Like you don't need to necessarily say who's the best cook. Oh, my wife is the best cook. You don't need to do all that.
Yeah.
But who you want to sleep with or who you find attractive,
Yeah.
you lean more towards your wife or someone fictional.
That question is a bit of a snake in the grass, though.
Yes, it is.
Because some people even if let's just say she knew that that's how he felt about the spin instructor.
Yeah.
And then he's like the spin instructor, and she guessed it right.
Yeah.
everyone else is going to be like, oh, well, that's a bit wrong.
It's a bit
for, like,
fallacious, yeah.
for Bruno and whoever his wife's
And
name
Mars.
is.
Yeah. Bruno and Mars.
Bruno and Mars are like, they're okay. Are they like, are they
Yeah.
are they like
Are they on the
swingers?
rocks?
Are they swinging?
Yeah.
Are they swinging?
It's like almost looks bad for like, I don't know. It's one of those questions that maybe it's not the best thing to even present to the group.
But I do think it's a softball question in that, like, it's not a hard. It's
like, throw it
obvious to write your wife,
It's a
your
gimme.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
or your
Yeah.
boyfriend. Like, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's an underarm throw. It's like all you got to do is swing the bat and you'll hit that ball.
He
knock it out of
turned
the park.
around and he hit the what's the guy in the
the backstop?
yeah, with the
Right.
bat.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's a bit of a tough sitch.
Yeah. I don't know. Quit the class.
Quit
maybe
the
get a new
class.
spin class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to make it up to your wife.